Hey everybody, how are you today? Good, happy Friday to you. This is Ryan. I'm doing the crypto update again for you. Told you last time that I cut it short because I was just, had a really tight schedule. So I've got plenty of time here today. This is probably about a 20-minute episode, 25. I've got some actually pretty cool stuff going on from the last month. The music I'm trying to play here today is two French guys, Polo and Pan and Polo, from their new album that they just put out. So this is a live show they did recently in France. So let's get right into it. So some stuff not crypto related, more U.S. economy related. Wells Fargo finally got fined $1 billion from Trump's administration regarding all of the fake accounts and fraudulent activities they were doing last fall against their customers. So that's good to see that at least something is happening, but it's still sad that these guys like Wells Fargo, who are trying to put a squash on the crypto industry, are still pulling that type of behavior. So this was just about a week ago. The IMF, one of the heads of the IMF, puts out a report saying that global debt is now worse than before back in 2008. So global debt right now stands about 15% worse than it was back in 2008 when all of this kind of collapsed. So that is something unique to keep in mind, probably because if it does fall apart, who bails out the governments? Well, one idea might be the IMF or the World Bank. So we'll see how that plans out. Reason put out this article here. Research company Pew put out, came across. How long did it take? I think it was almost 12 full months of this research they did. Anyway, come back and see that America's public pension programs across the country are officially $1.4 trillion short. How are they going to make up that? Time will tell. And then the Federal Reserve of San Francisco puts out an article as well saying, involuntary part-time work, yes, it's here to stay. So if you read the article, they're basically saying that the average, I guess for lack of a better term, middle class, it's come to the point where involuntary part-time jobs, side gigs, side hustles, part-time work, whatever, is now pretty much going to be standard, at least in their estimation. When actually, it's kind of also ironic that it's the Federal Reserve putting that out. So I wonder if they... Anyway. Okay, so on to crypto things. Kraken in Japan just announced that, as you can see here, they're pulling out of Japan. They say that a lot of the cost of doing business in Japan is just too burdensome. They're focusing on countries that are more friendly and going to give them a more fair business chance to run. So we'll see how this, if any other groups around in Japan come up with this same complaint or behavior. So this is, I must have messed up the slides here. If you look here on the right side of this slide, you see Goldman Sachs just had an executive from their firm hired over at blockchain.info. Blockchain.info, provides wallets for Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're trying to get more on the institutional, mainstream Wall Street, traditional financial markets. So this could be a big move for them. And then Verge, gosh, I'm blanking right now, but there's a lot of shady behavior and inconsistencies in the management at Verge right now. So I'm going to skip it because I just don't remember everything that as I was reading it about a week ago. So check it out, or if you own Verge, definitely check it out. In the last week's report, I went over that George Soros announced that he was getting involved in cryptocurrencies through his Quantum Fund. And so you see here as well, the Rockefeller family has announced that in their venture capital fund, they're going to start investing in blockchain groups as well. So we will see how that pans out with these guys, but let's see. Their fund is called Vinrock, and they've partnered with Coin Fund. So we'll see how that pans out. I mean, will they do it for the stereotypical Rockefeller ideas that we would expect, or is this? Who knows? Time will tell. If you didn't check this out, this was actually last month, but I've just been putting this one on the back burner, and I recently came across again. In Africa, Sierra Leone just did their entire government elections on a blockchain. Now, they did normal voting alongside a blockchain, not just solely blockchain, but they're comparing the results, and it looked very positive as far as how the performance and what they expected. So that's, I think, the first country I'm aware of right now who has actually had any major elections in any way on a blockchain. So keep your eyes how that one will pan out, or at least if it doesn't spread to maybe some states in the United States. It'd be very interesting to see if a state election would be run on a blockchain. So you can see here Anheuser-Busch, they were bought a few years ago by I believe it's Dutch company InBev. Is it Dutch? I believe it's Dutch. Anyhow, European. And so they say that with their logistics of running an international alcohol company with all different brands, all the different countries, as it says here, they hail the blockchain technology as transformational in their logistics pilot. So if you can imagine being this company, you have factories all across the world that are receiving products to make the beer, make the alcohol. You've got receiving products to make beer cans, bottles, containers, shipping, all of it. Not only that, that's just receiving. Now you have to send it out to all these different combinations of countries of your product. So this technology running the crypto space is a clear, great opportunity for them. And like they say right here, they love it. So good news to hear from them. The European Commission, about 2 weeks ago, they're putting 280 million euro into some venture, or not some venture, for lack of a better term, some venture blockchain projects. And if I'm not mistaken, they're all geared toward how to make the EU and its public policy, and rather than the private sector, more efficient. So actually, surprisingly, seems like every month or every episode I do one of these, it seems like the EU is really, really embracing the potential for what blockchain and the tech could pull off. I haven't seen it as much around America at the moment, but yeah, EU seems to be really taking the lead and seeing what opportunities exist. Okay, down in Africa. So down in Africa, even since the crash of the price of Bitcoin, no area in the world, okay, actually except Asia, it says secondly to Asia, which is mostly trading and speculation, actual exchange of cryptocurrencies for rather than just buying and selling is still continually month over month increasing across many countries in Africa. And so it lists here there are very, very compelling reasons why people in Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and other African countries have been eager to accept cryptocurrencies. One of these reasons is that Bitcoin offers financial stability in a region known for its volatile and inflationary national currencies. So yeah, it's no secret that you don't need to explain to people in Africa the benefits of what could happen with Bitcoin. And still, it's growing even quicker now. So here was some promising headline from Amazon not so long ago. They put out a note here on their blog that says they have made Amazon Web Service-based Ethereum templates that people can get on there and start really creating and get creative on different ideas. Kind of like how AOL sent CDs to everyone and flooded the market. Everybody got on the internet. This could really help to get a lot of people testing different ideas and building and experimenting on Ethereum's platform. So it sounds really good, right? And you're thinking, Amazon, that's awesome to hear. Thanks for getting in the game and supporting the community. And then you find out Amazon filed a patent to de-anonymize Bitcoin transactions and sell the data to law enforcement. So it's like the exact opposite. They're trying to help build out the crypto economy while at the same time trying to be able to collect as much data as possible and sell it. So, it is what it is. Jack Dorsey actually said recently he believes that Bitcoin will be the world's single currency. I don't know if I would say that it's the world's single currency, but he was really, 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 really excited about the way it's going to start working in the future. So this was a brief article about how in Italy there was an earthquake and people were actually able to coordinate and get donations directly from anybody who wanted to donate directly to the people in the town and the organizations in the town helping them, and you could track every single bit that was transferred and how it was spent. So it was really cool. This is one thing that I'm very, very excited about, the future of what distributed networks could put together. You guys probably saw how Stellar's been taking off along with a lot of the other altcoins. Stellar's got a little bit of extra energy though, because it shows here, like you see, about a month ago, they started experimenting and putting their actual Lightning Network together. And this is supposed to be what really sets them apart. Time will tell, though. So if you've watched any of the past episodes I've done, you see where this has been kind of a fun story to follow. The leader of Venezuela, communist Venezuela, wants to thank Donald Trump for the petro ban for doubling the investors into his ICO. So the ultimate backstory is Maduro, who runs Venezuela, thought that in order to circumnavigate all of the international sanctions, he will create a coin, back it with hard assets, his oil, and he will call it the petro. Well, he went around and started getting investors, and he announced he actually got a few thousand individuals and a few thousand institutional investors. And then last month, Donald Trump signed a note that said that the petro is federally outlawed. Don't buy it if you're a U.S. citizen, or you'll be breaking law. And now, apparently, according to the president of Venezuela, they've now doubled the amount of investment in their ICO, and potentially building a coin which is traded on hard assets, crude oil. But time will tell. I'm sure. And then I think this is one of the last here I've got. This is just another great article. CNBC writes they've got some great data research sometimes. They're showing just how much new investment from institutional investors, whether it's private equity or venture capital or angel investment, or even in traditional investment managers, RIAs, family offices, it's still growing. Even though the market, the price overall has been dropping, the amount of investment is exact opposite. The amount of investment the last 3 to 6 months has only been increasing. So here's the final thing I've got. This was a pretty cool one if you're into mining. You can see here, Intel released a patent recently that is supposed to speed up what cryptocurrency miners are capable of doing. So if you saw last month, I told you that Samsung is putting out a brand new miner that when it comes out this year, it's allegedly going to make every existing miner obsolete. So here, Intel then one-ups Samsung just now and says that they've actually had this patent since 2016, and they're just now making it public. They're naming it the Bitcoin Mining Hardware Accelerator with optimized message digest and message scheduler data path. So anyhow, it's really cool. It's kind of a little miniature space race between some tech companies, NVIDIA included, to see who can make mining the most efficient and profitable and powerful. So again, if this was just a giant game and it was just Beanie Babies, and in 5 years this would be a bunch of nonsense, you wouldn't see companies like this putting so much time and effort to guide the direction of their company to suit what crypto people are doing. So anyhow, that's all I've got for you right now. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Message me if you need any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Yeah, so how was that? Okay.